What's up, Soul Family? It's another day on Starship Earth, and we're sending gratitude into the cosmos. So today I want to talk about an important aspect of this experience, an important aspect of this spiritual awakening process, and just this human experience as a whole. And that is expressing our emotions and allowing ourselves to feel when it's time to feel. Because a lot of times during this spiritual awakening process, we will have old emotions rise up to the surface, coming up into our awareness to become conscious so that we can heal them and release these from our energy, from our emotional body. And the thing is, a lot of us have been conditioned to suppress these emotions, to suppress and limit our authentic self. Because during our childhood, during our upbringing, we were at certain times shamed or shunned for expressing our emotions. I know when I was a child, there were times when I would cry or I felt a certain way, and someone would tell me to, stop it, to stop pouting, or even they would one-up me. They would say, think about how I feel. They would make it about them when I was, just trying to express my emotions as a child. I was trying to process what I was feeling. And then during my teenage years, when I started to grow older, I always suppressed my emotions around people, around my friends. All my friends would always say, Jamie's always happy. Jamie never feels angry, never feels sad. But that's because I was just afraid to show people that side of myself. And still to this day, I don't really like showing these emotions to people. I tend to like to process them by myself. It's hard for me to cry in front of people unless I'm feeling their emotions, or else I'm watching like an emotional movie or something, or an emotional anime. But the thing is, we have to allow ourselves. We have to deprogram this suppression that we have on ourselves and just allow ourselves to feel and to flow. It was just last week where I was having a lot of old emotions come up within myself. I wasn't too sure what I was feeling yet. There wasn't anything attached to it. There was nothing that triggered these emotions. I just woke up and I was feeling kind of off that day. And I was feeling heavy throughout the day. But it wasn't until at night I started listening to music. And music really helps me bring these emotions out. It helps me really release. It's a very healing experience for me. But then I started really feeling this deep urge to want to be held. And I started crying. I started having these heavy tears come out of me and these heavy emotions. And I just wanted to be held. And this was my inner child calling out. This was my inner child wanting to be held, wanting to be loved and nurtured. And I had this desire for a woman to nurture me. I had this desire for a partner, a romantic partner, to want to be held, to want to be connected with someone. And these were my emotions coming out. These were my desires, my pains and wounds coming out from the past. And after I let these out, the next day I felt so much better. I started moving towards, feeling light, feeling more heart-centered. But that's why it's so important to allow ourselves to feel these things so that we can release them, so that we're not holding on to them. Because when we hold on to emotions, when we hold on to this is things from our past that we are holding on to. This makes us live from the past instead of living in the present moment. So it's a very powerful practice, and it's a very powerful thing to embody. Because when you embody and embrace what you are feeling, what you are doing is you are embracing and embodying your authentic self, no matter how you feel. You know, a lot of us on the spiritual journey, we're trying to, you know, transcend these emotions, transcend these earthly negative emotions. But the thing is, the only way we can transcend these negative emotions, these negative patterns, this dark side, the duality, the only way we can transcend this is by embracing and by loving and nurturing this side of ourself. Because we all have a shadow within. We all have a shadow within ourselves. And we can't transcend it by neglecting it. When we neglect our shadow, we're only pushing it further within ourselves, deep into the unconscious, deep into the subconscious. And then that's when it starts running our life unconsciously without our awareness. So by bringing these feelings into our awareness, we're also giving ourselves the ability to transcend these within our life, to let go of these limitations that we put on ourselves and let go of the pain from our past, so that we can create new cycles, so that we can create new timelines full of love, and so that we can open our heart to new love and new opportunities. And this helps us really tune into that oneness, tune into that 5D energy, that fifth dimension, the fifth dimension full of love and oneness and unity. Because when you embrace your shadow, when you look at your shadow with the eyes of love, with the eyes of unconditional love and acceptance, this allows you to hold space for others as well. Because, you know, whatever you are reflecting within yourself, this becomes your perception. This becomes your own frequency. So when you embrace your own healing and you really allow yourself to feel, others will feel it as well. And you have the ability to hold space for others, to become a healer, to become a transmuter. This is what alchemy is. This is what transmutation is. Feeling these darker emotions, feeling this pain, letting it out, crying, yelling. Obviously not yelling at others, but, you know, expressing it in a healthy way. Letting yourself process it in a healthy, balanced way. You know, writing it out. Just being present with yourself during these moments. You know, when I was feeling those emotions last week, my first instinct was to distract myself from it. Was to watch videos, was to be on social media, you know, eat food, do things in the physical to distract myself from the emotions I was feeling. But Spirit wanted me to embrace it. So that night, when I turned on that music and I allowed myself to feel, when I thought those thoughts and I felt those emotions, that's when I was truly present with my healing and with myself. And that allowed for a lot of profound growth within myself. And allowed me to release all that stagnant energy that was making me feel heavy, that was making me feel irritable. And I just released it, let it go, embraced it. And then now I'm feeling light. Now I'm feeling much more into my higher self. Now I'm feeling that love energy. Now I'm feeling that unity. Because, you know, this society trains us and programs us to shun this side of ourselves, to shun the shadow, to shun the emotions, to stay closed off to others, to stay separated. So it's important that we rebel against this programming, that we deprogram this way of thinking and this way of being, and look at our emotions in a much different way, in a different perspective. See our emotions as just energy in motion. That's what emotions are. This is energy moving, energy flowing, much like water. So when we suppress our emotions and we reject them, this creates a blockage within our energy. This puts like a roadblock for our energy, so it can't pass through, you know? It can't move through and flow freely. So removing these roadblocks, removing these limitations allows for our energy to flow, allows for us to be free within ourselves and be like water, be fluid, flowing through obstacles, flowing through life. And that's how you find that rhythm within yourself. You know, embracing the cycles that we go through. You know, listening to our body, listening to how we feel. If we're feeling heavy, if we're feeling light, and ask yourself, why is it that I'm feeling heavy right now? What is it that I need to release? What is it that I need to feel so that I can let go of it? Awareness is key, always being aware of what is happening in our inner world. And our inner world always reflects back to us in the physical. So just always being aware, always having awareness. And this is where meditation, this is where breath work comes into play. Yoga, just finding routines that help you become more in tune with your body and with your mind. Because like I always say, mind, body, and spirit, they're all directly connected. So the more we become in tune with our body, with our mind, with our emotions, the more in tune with spirit we will become, the more in tune with the divine, so that we can come into alignment with all that is divinely orchestrated, so that we can come into alignment with our natural rhythm, with our natural state of being. Because our natural state of being is that of love, is that of oneness. And you know, when I don't allow myself to feel, I'll get certain symptoms. I will get head pressure, I will get irritable, I'll feel heavy, I'll feel disconnected from people, and I'll feel like just going within. But that feeling, that wanting to be alone, is what allows me to do that healing. I feel that pull to go alone. And as long as I don't distract myself with other things, I can embrace this healing. And the faster I allow myself to feel, the faster I will release this energy. The more time and energy you give to yourself, the more you will progress in your healing and in your growth. So always remember to allow yourself to check in with yourself, because we live in this physical, material world where there's so much happening, where there's so much denseness and so much information always coming at us, always around us. So just learning to disconnect from that, taking time to disconnect from all this information, all these distractions. And that's what's going to give us the space to heal, the space to expand our consciousness. And sometimes we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to create or to work or to do stuff in our reality physically, but sometimes that also makes us suppress our emotions when we are going through something, when something is rising up within us, and we start putting a lot of pressure on ourselves that we have to get this done, we have to do this, we have to do that. But spirit, your body, is telling you to take a break, take some rest, and go within and feel and heal. And then once you honor your cycle, once you honor the rhythm of your own self, then you can go out and expand and create more. Then you can expand even further than you were expanding before, because you let something go. You made room for your consciousness to grow and expand. And that's how powerful shadow work is. That's how powerful bringing the unconscious to the conscious awareness is. Because if we're not aware of the wounds and the patterns and the pains that are operating in our life from the hidden unconscious, and then we aren't truly coming into our power as divine beings, as co-creators, because we're allowing the unconscious patterns of our past to play out in our life. And that's why awareness, again, is so important. So yeah, that's the message that I wanted to share with you today, because I recently went through some healing. I went through some things that I had to feel through. I had to cry them out. I had to honor my emotions, honor my feminine energy, and nurture myself. You know, we have that feminine, we have that motherly energy within us. Even if we're a male, it doesn't matter what your gender is, we hold masculine and feminine energy. So honoring your emotions is honoring your feminine, and this allows your masculine energy to come forth in more balance, in a more balanced way, so that you can go forward feeling more light and feeling more at peace with yourself, and at peace with the people around you, with the people from your past, so that you can let go of attachments. Because attachments drain our energy, they drain our life force. The things from our past that we haven't faced, that we haven't allowed ourselves to heal and let go, these things drain our energy. So the more we feel and more we allow ourselves to let these things go, this allows our life force to flow. This allows our life force to become even stronger. And then you have more life force to focus on your creations, to focus on your passions, and to focus on the present moment. Just think about it. When your consciousness is living in the past, or is anxious living in the future, then your life force is being spent in different areas instead of being spent in the present moment. So the more life force, the more awareness we have of the present, the more the things in your life are going to grow. The more your consciousness is going to expand, the more your creations are going to be nurtured, the people in your life are going to be nurtured. What happens is when something caused us to suppress our emotions when we were a child, is our fight or flight system, our fight or flight nervous system is activated, and that causes us to close up because we don't feel safe to express our emotions. So this can be actually programmed within ourselves and within our body. So when we're older, when we feel like we're going to express our emotion, we feel the need to express our emotion to someone, sometimes we can shut down. Sometimes our body tells us to retract and to shut down, and our fight or flight system is activated again. So it's important to be in tune with our body as well and reprogram our body. And we can reprogram our body by allowing ourselves to feel, allowing ourselves to express our emotions. We can reprogram it through meditation. We can reprogram it through breath work and cold showers, because these things activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which calms our heart rate, which calms our blood pressure, and just calms our nervous system. So this will help us open up and feel free to express our emotions, because you know there's so much pain and trauma and wounds instilled inside of our body. So that's why it's important to start working with our body, start becoming in tune with our body, checking in with it, checking in with how we feel, and we can reprogram this conditioning that we hold within us. And especially young boys in this society, we are taught at a young age to suppress our emotions. We are taught that it's not masculine to cry, that it's not masculine to express our emotions, you know, to be a big boy, to stop crying. And we literally shame our children into not expressing, into not crying. And then this causes adults to hold a lot of resentment, to hold a lot of shame and guilt within themselves. I know I had a lot of shame to work through regarding emotions, regarding feeling. So it's important that we allow ourselves to feel, that we allow our children to feel. And that's why you actually see a lot of angry people in this world, because they're holding on to so much emotions and they're not allowing themselves to express it. They're not allowing themselves to feel it, and they feel shame to even express it. And this causes a lot of separation in the world, a lot of distortion within the consciousness of mankind, of human beings. So allow yourself to feel and embrace each aspect of this experience. And know that you're not alone. Reach out to support if you feel you ever need it, if you're going through something, if you're healing through something. You're not alone. So that's the message I want to share with you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope it helps you on your journey in some way. Hope you all have an amazing day. Peace.